Okay, welcome back to another year of making music on the iPad with the GarageBand. We hope that as you get a hang of using the GarageBand, you will use it beyond the music classroom. You will continue to make your own music outside of the music classes, writing songs and music for your various personal or school projects. Just a quick recap. A piece of music can always be broken up into its elements, and that may include melody, harmony, and rhythm. There is also timbre, which refers to the color or sound of the instruments playing the music. There are some other elements that we won't go into in this module. But you should also know that tempo means the speed of a piece of music, and it is usually expressed as the number of beats per bar. So if a tempo of a piece is 60, it means there are 60 beats in a minute, and so one beat is about 1 second. You'll need to know tempo because that's a term that you will encounter in GarageBand. The number of beats in a piece of music is also divided into groups called bars, and each group is commonly made up of 2, 3, 4, or 6 beats. The number of beats per bar is then called its meter. So if someone asks you what is the meter of your piece, you can say 3 beats to the bar. Remember that a note with a black note head and a stem is called a crotchet or a quarter note, although it actually lasts 1 beat. It can get a little confusing. A crotchet note is also called a quarter note and it lasts 1 beat. A note with a tail lasts half a beat. It is called a quaver or an eighth note. A white note with a stem is called a minim, and that lasts 2 beats, while a white note with no stem is called a semibreve, and it lasts 4 beats. We can further divide the eighth notes into 16 notes, which have 2 tails. So a bar of 4 beats can be divided into 8 quavers or 16 semiquavers. Note that the tails are often joined together to make groupings that will make it easier for you to tell where each beat lies. So 4 16th notes or 4 semiquavers grouped together as 1 beat. With dotted notes, you add half its value. So a dotted crotchet means you add an eighth note to the quarter note, or you add a quaver to the crotchet, and it lasts 1.5 beat. Do you remember the parts of a drum set? This is the bass drum, snare drum, the toms, medium tom, high tom, medium tom, low tom. This is the hi-hat, the crash cymbal. They all have specific functions. The bass drum plays the strong beats, which is usually the first and third beat in a 4-beat bar. The snare drum will play the off beats or the weak beats, which is usually the second and fourth beat in a 4th beat bar. The hi-hats will add rhythmic color and usually plays on every half beat. So this is the pattern that you played last year and you recorded into your iPads. The bass drum on the first beat and the third beat, playing twice on the third beat. The snare drum on the second beat and the fourth beat, and for every half beat, 1 hit on the hi-hat. And this is what it sounded like. So now, a short video on how you are going to record this again in your iPads. Okay, just a recap on how you record the drum patterns on an iPad GarageBand. First thing you need to do is make sure your tempo is set to about 90, not too fast. 60 if you find 90 too still too fast for you. And make sure your metronome and count in are turned on. What the count in does for you is before you record, it will give you 4 beats to let you know how fast you should go. We'll start off with the bass drum and record on the first beat and twice on the third beat. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just record 1 bar. That's all you need. And then add a new track, select the drums, and now we'll record the side drum. For the side drum, you record on the second beat and the fourth beat. Make sure you rewind to the beginning of the music and record 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you have 1 bar of both the bass drum and the snare drum, and add another track to record the hi-hat. For the hi-hat, on every beat you play twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. After you have recorded these 3 tracks, what you want to do is, in case your playing was not really together with every beat, you might want to quantize it. So select each track and quantize it to 1/8 notes, which are quavers, which are what you play. Select the snare drum, quantize it to 1/8 notes. Select your bass drum, quantize it to 1/8 notes. Now, copy by tapping on the track. Bring your cursor to the beginning of the next bar and just paste. Make copies for 8 bars. Copy the snare drum track. Paste the snare drum part for 8 bars. And do the same for the hi-hats. You might find the tempo too slow for playback, so before you listen to everything, again, go to tempo 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about 120, and play back. Okay, so that's the end. If you found that video a bit difficult to watch because it was very small, you can go onto YouTube and search for NYGHGM2. You should be able to find the same video